It's not like you feel the front coming in, all of a sudden it's just there. But being connected with other people brings warmth and brings comfortability, and it helps us to not have to feel like we're all on our own. I think about many of us in our congregation this morning, there's a lot of single men and single women. Go with me for a minute. Our culture has made it kind of taboo about touch and affection because in so many ways it's been abused. There's something to be said about appropriate touch and affection. There's single people in our room today that maybe haven't even had a hug in a long time. Through our winter seasons, there's something to be said about appropriate touch and appropriate hugs and just being there for one another. That's okay in an appropriate kind of a way, and it's important, and it's what God intended. A lot of the different cultures, Italians and different ones in New Jersey, I was kissed everywhere I went. I mean, that's just the way it is. But there's certain cultures that kind of get it more than others. God wants us to appropriately be there for one another, especially during those winter seasons. I think about my oldest son, who is now 6 years old. His name's Caleb. And when he was a young boy, his winter seasons might be, hey, I'm hungry. Or his winter season might be, hey, my diaper's dirty, or I don't want to go to bed. And I remember he used to have this saying in his winter seasons. He said, hold you, Daddy, hold you. It's not so much that he wanted to hold me, he wanted me to hold him. We need to have people in our lives that we can get to a point and we just say, I need you to hold me. I don't know how I'm going to go another day. I don't know how I'm going to get through this without your touch and your the warmth that you bring. We need to be connected with people so that we can experience that in the cold and the winter seasons of our life. When you're scared and confused, you don't need to call 1-800-ASK-GARY. You need to call your friends and be connected with friends that you can reach out to them. Sorry, I had to put that in there. Winter seasons of life are more comfortable with friends. Number 4, we are stronger. We are stronger when we are connected with friends. Though one may be overpowered, two can defend themselves. A cord of 3 strands is not quickly broken. Many of you maybe you've been walking with the Lord for a long time. Maybe not. Maybe this is a saying that you've heard before. Maybe this is the first time you're going to hear it said. As a Christian, as a Christ follower, we are in a battle. And there's an old saying that says, God has a plan and a purpose for your life. Have you ever heard that? God has a plan and a purpose for your life. Well, I believe that's true. But I also believe there's an adversary. Call him what you will. And I believe he has a plan and a purpose for your life too. And because of that conflict and that struggle there between this plan and this plan, there's continual warfare in our lives that's taking place. It's just the way that it is. When I think about this point and being stronger when we're connected to others, I think about, I watch TV. And I like to watch the animal shows, the Animal Kingdom. You see, the predators and who's preyed upon. Here's the deal. The predators don't prey upon the herd so much as they do the ones who are by themselves. And as also the ones who are kind of on the peripheral, on the edges, and not really in the group. Are you on the edge? Are you isolated in life, and are you going it alone? Statistically, and I've done a lot of reading on studies and different things, I would suggest that a good number of us in this room this morning are isolated, and we're going it alone. And we're not connected with other men. We're not connected with other women. We're not connected with other couples. And we just say, yeah, I believe, but I don't need that relationship thing. I'm good. Yeah, you're good, all right. You're good for disaster. You're good to be eaten. That's what you're good for. You're good to be eaten because there is a battle waging. And when you're connected with other people, you don't have to go it alone. And there's people looking at your back, and you don't have to get all this temptation thrown at you on your own, because together you support one another. You support one another. I think about the old saying, 2's company and 3's a crowd. You heard of that one? Well, when I'm under attack, I'd rather be in the crowd. I don't know about you. I would. Statistically, here's some statistics for you. Say that 10 times fast. 33% of Americans, 1 in 3 approximately, will suffer from depression, maybe at some point in your year or some point in your life. Here's the interesting part. The people who suffer from major depression are those with little or no support network. We have, clinically answers for those things like depression and anxiety and stress and all those things. And a lot of times they come in little bottles that are about this big. But studies show that if we were connected with people, I'm not a doctor, don't go off your pills, but if we were connected with people, a lot of times we wouldn't need that little bottle. But it's just an indication of the isolation that our culture lives in. And instead of actually building relationships, we medicate it. And there's ways around that. There's studies and there's a lot of articles that I read in preparation for today. And believe it or not, I know this is going to be hard to believe, but America is not the most happy country. I know it's hard for you to believe. We're not the most satisfied country in who we are. You know who is? I'm not going to name one for you. But it's the countries and it's the peoples who are most connected with friends. And those who forgive easily. I suggest that if you're not so proud of your 2008, I would say that if you just experimented and you put yourself out there to connect with other people in 2009, you're going to have a different perspective in a year from now. For the better. For the better. So number 4, we are stronger when we are connected with others. Now, if we're honest this morning with ourselves, and I ask that we will be, is your life keeping you from connecting through increased mobility? Have you recently moved, or are you about to move, or people in your life move? Are you just striving for this self-actualization or the next promotion or the next raise, and you're so busy with those things in your life that you just don't have any time to build relationships? Or is your life just so full of emotionally numbing distractions? It's like, as a matter of fact, you can't wait till I stop talking so you can go home and watch TV. Many of us are there, guys. Many of us are there. Here's what I want us to do this morning. I just want us to examine ourselves and be honest with the condition of either our isolation or our connectedness. And if I were a betting man, I would say it would tilt on the side of isolation. And I want us to admit the fact that we're isolated and we need connection with other people. We need to be in relationship with other people so we don't have to feel like we're in this thing all by ourselves and we're navigating life alone. We need to change the entrenched habits that we've found ourselves in. You know the definition of insanity is doing the same old things and expecting different results. Well, many of us are doing the same old things and we can't understand why we're not connecting with people. What it didn't work last year, it's probably not going to work this year. It's like you come maybe here on a Sunday morning and you see huddles of people connected and they're talking and they're laughing. And you're like, man, I so long to want to be in connection with people. But how do you do that? Is that like a secret handshake that you got to learn? I missed that somewhere in the bulletin. Is that in the bulletin you read through? Is there a secret handshake? And you're not really sure how to connect. Well, here's what I want you to do. Right now, the ushers are going to pass out a survey. And when I say survey, that probably scares some of you. Because there's this thing on this survey that says name, email, best phone, address, city, zip. In other words, it identifies you with what is said. Here's the deal. Here's the rules. Is everyone listening? You can be anonymous. If you giving us honest feedback is going to help you by being anonymous, we ask that you do that. But there's some simple questions on here. There's no more than 7. There's 6, actually. Fill the survey out. And you're wondering, how do I connect? How do I get connected with other people? You know what? This is one of the ways. But obviously, if we're going to help you to connect, you do need to give us your name and number and how we can contact you. So be honest. Take the next couple of minutes and fill this out. This is one way that you can connect with a life group and other people here at Bay Life Church. Also, every Sunday, not just today, but every Sunday, There are opportunities for you in the foyer every Sunday. We have a life group center. As you're going out, it's on the right-hand side over there. Every Sunday, we're there, and our job is to help you to find community and help you find connection with other people.